Well, hi there. I'm Colin, aka the Tone Wizard, and let me tell you something. I used to be a simple man, right? Get off at work, 5 p.m., post up on the porch, crack a Bud Light, watch the grass grow, listen to some Nickelback like every red blooded Canadian. But that all changed for me one day when I was on YouTube and I discovered this band, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And let me tell you, they were playing scales I'd never heard before. They were playing notes I'd never heard before. They were jamming. They were playing these little microtonal instruments. They were playing these notes between the notes, and something about those micro tiny tones really appealed to me on a level that I won't explain. But I got pretty involved in the band. Watched hundreds of videos. Tried to go see them a couple of times. But the other day I was scrolling through my Instagrams, right? I was scrolling away. I'm looking at trucks smashing into other trucks. I'm watching an alligator eat a leopard. I'm watching a leopard eat an alligator. I'm watching an orangutan smoke a cigarette. I'm watching an orangutan smoke 2 cigarettes. And I'm scrolling away, and then I see a picture of an attractive, what I thought was a lady. And it looked familiar, albeit attractive. And I saw a picture of what looked to be a bunch of ladies, but upon closer inspection was revealed to be King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Now, in the span of a month, I've lost my Bud Light, and now I've lost my Gizzards and my Lizard Wizards. What else will they take from me? Hi there, I'm Colin Lamb, aka the Tone Wizard. I hope you're doing very well wherever you may happen to be. And all kidding aside, I came across a post of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard performing in drag a while back, and I had a look into it, and apparently, according to NME, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard took to the stage in drag for their third show at the Caverns Amphitheater this past weekend. This is an old article, relatively new post on their Instagram, but the article's from June 3rd. The band's performance, as noted by Spin, came mere hours after a recent Tennessee state law banning public drag performances was officially deemed to be unconstitutional by a federal judge. I found the post. I thought it was funny, and literally I did see the picture of Stu. It was, for some reason, sometimes Instagram, it'll show you a bunch of photos and it'll show you one further down the line than the first one. I don't know the reason for that, but it was a picture of Stu, and I thought it was hilarious. I scrolled through the pictures. I thought it was funny. I just assumed that they were doing something like this, and so right away, my little friggin' chat GP bald head started predicting the comments that I knew would be in a post like this, and I checked them out, and I thought I would share some of them with you because let me tell you, I have no problem with people having an opinion about things. I have opinions. I have some stupid opinions, but the minute you write your opinions down in the format of a comment, you open those opinions to the opinions of other people having their own opinions. And some of these comments I just thought were worth taking a look at because they kind of expose something or other. So King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard made the post, and they just said, "Drag night in Tennessee, so much fun, might have to make it a yearly tradition." So nothing wrong with that. And then, of course, we get this comment. "Imagine having to dress up in drag in order to feel better about chasing the checks. Stop whoring out for cash and don't tour red states." Simple. Okay, so this guy's outlined a very simple strategy for King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and he is supposing that they're just chasing money by doing this. They're not making any kind of social statement. They're clearly not using their platform, for a cause that they feel is worthy of doing so. They're just trying to cash the checks, because if there's one band that's just trying to cash checks, it's the obscure band from Australia with a ridiculous name that has put out 24 albums and has so much diversity within the catalog of their music that you could start at one end, and by the time you get to the other end, you're probably thinking it's a completely different band. It's this band that's obviously chasing the checks. They have no radio hits, to my knowledge. They have no radio-friendly singles. I mean, you could argue that there's a couple in their catalog that could be, but this is one band that doesn't give a fuck about making money. If they did, they wouldn't have put out 24 albums. They would stretch those albums out as long as they could, and they would tour tour relentlessly in between. And people like me who hadn't heard of them really until I would say about a year and a half ago would have fucking well heard about them by now. So this comment is just, I had to share it. This next comment came from a guy who shares my name, but that's about it, because he says, stupid band goes woke, makes song about witchcraft, Satanists, in quotes, I stop listening. Sad. Many such cases. Well, you know what? If you don't want to listen to them, you don't, right? Back when everything was on TV, if you didn't like it, you just changed the channel and never watched it again. And you went on in your life. And this is one of the sad things about the internet. I mean, everybody can have their say, but should they? Eric the Garay says, humiliation ritual question. I think I know what he's talking about. I think this is like, some people believe that bands will do something like this and, quote, not my words, his words, humiliate themselves in some kind of ritual to allow themselves a rite of passage to some higher echelon of fame or success that's bestowed upon them by some shadowy organization, the Illuminati or whatever, whomever the lizard people, King Gizzard and the fucking lizard wizard. Oh my fuck. Tickle me fucked. I've gotten to the bottom of this. No, but look, once again, this band that came from obscurity from Australia makes no attempt to produce radio-friendly music and are very popular in their own right. They're very sustainably touring. They're putting out tons of stuff. Shit, I paid like, probably after the shipping and all that crap, I paid like $70 for this t-shirt. I'll admit that right now. So they don't need to humiliate themselves to achieve success. And oh no, a band, the only way a band, could ever succeed in this world is by performing some satanic Illuminatiist ritual, right? I mean, have you seen these guys fucking play music? They're fucking amazing. They can write music seemingly. Where do they even find the time to write this music? But yeah, they would clearly have to participate in some shadowy underworld ritual to achieve success. Absolutely ridiculous. Next comment is from Robolotus. Amazing band with brainwashed liberal members. What a shame. Just look at these men in dresses. Hollywood endorsement, ? Humiliation ritual. Again, man, the knots are all tying together. The gizzards, the lizards tied onto the end of the wizard, a snake eating a lizard, a king, a serpent, witchcraft, Satanism. God damn it, these people on the internet are onto something. Oh, yeah, but they're also evidently endorsing medical fascism, and the people are awakening, and we see you. Again, I'm not opposed to anybody having their opinion. Like I say, I have my own opinions, but some of this stuff is just a little bit ridiculous, and that's what's really sad here. I don't think it's ever sad for somebody to have an opinion, and I can agree or disagree with people, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not even going to read some of the more, let's call them, disturbing comments that were on this page, because I don't want to give them any bandwidth. I usually don't wade into shit like this, but the comments, like I say, were as expected on a post like this, but it never ceases to amaze me. And all these people saying that they're humiliation rituals, right? It's just sad, right? If you think that King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard would need this to achieve a higher echelon of success, it's just sad, because part of you probably believes that the reason you're not succeeding is because you're not willing to compromise yourself in some way, right? And that's a pretty easy excuse to have when you haven't fulfilled your potential. And it's a very negative way to look at the world. It's the same as the people who kind of, and again, I've got my own opinions on this, but I'll just use this for an example. It's like the people who think that we faked the lunar landing, which you can or cannot. It's up to you. I have my own opinion. It's my opinion. But it's pretty easy when your own life is a mess to think of an undertaking like going to the moon or forming an obscure band from Australia and traveling the world playing music to people who adore and love you. It's pretty easy to imagine that's all impossible when there are invisible forces gatekeeping your success. Anyways, I've got a sponsor for this video. This video is proudly sponsored by Roxwell's Hubris IPA. Hubris IPA. You're great, and they're all shit. Anyways, this wasn't the video I thought I'd be making this week, but I did make it, and here we are. And by the way, I just want to say, it's not as though we've ever seen our favorite rock stars dress up like women before.